Hi guys, so for this video we're going to discuss if else statements. So unlike your if else statement, this time there are more than two possible outcomes. So here in an if else statement, these are statements when your conditions that you're going to set are more than one condition. So, of course, with more conditions, more possible outcomes. So, to create an if else statement, it's just similar with your if else statement, only that right after here, still have your if condition, if, and then the condition. So, this would be the first condition, condition 1. And then after that, the condition, the codes, when condition 1 is true, when condition 1 is true. Now, if condition 1 is false, it will be followed by an else if statement. Else if. Then you have to create another condition. So this time, there are more than one condition involved. Of course, with more conditions involved, you will now have a lot of possible outcome because the next condition will either be true or false also. So when the condition is true, so after the if statement, the else if statement with condition 2, it will now be followed with the set of statements in braces also when the condition is true. So this set of statements here will only be performed when condition 1 is true, while these statements here will only be performed whenever the condition 2 is true. Okay, so you can continue as many conditions as you want. You will still have your else, your if. Take note that else if here has a space in between them. So that's included in the syntax. So we'll have another condition here. And then it will still be followed by another two sets of conditions. Oh, I mean another set of codes. Codes when condition 3 is true. So these are the codes that we are going to perform whenever when the condition 3 is true. So as I've said, you can have two or more condition and if else. So you will have a lot of if else that will be written. So once all those conditions here up to this one is up to condition n. So let us say we have the last condition n, let us say the last condition, you will have two conditions, codes for whenever when condition n is true. Okay, so otherwise, when all those conditions are false, so for example, with the first condition up to the nth condition, is all of them are false, then you will now have an else statement. So in an else statement, this one is actually optional. You can end it with the last condition here, but sometimes it's necessary. If all those conditions that you have set becomes false, then this would be the statement that will be performed only when necessary. So these are the set of codes that will be performed when all conditions that were written in your if else becomes false. Okay, so an example for this one is we are going to improve our previous program, which is to identify if the age that you have entered is a qualified voter or not. So this time we make it more realistic. So since we can enter any particular age, we can actually enter an age of 200. But since basically, I mean, logically, I haven't seen anyone who has have an age of 200, any person. So we create another conditions that if you are, let us say, 120 years old, you can no longer, you will not be able to vote anymore. Or let us say it's impossible for you to live up to 120, although there are a lot of people, or there are still people who are alive at the age of 120. So, but in an average, 120 is quite impossible to reach. And we can also consider that those, since the age is an integer, the user can also enter a negative value. So we do not have an age of a negative value, probably because zero, it means it's a baby. So if it's a negative, I don't know if it will be called a fetus. Is able to. So we try to limit our our conditions. I mean we make our program more realistic. So we say we add few more conditions. So in spite besides age is greater than 18, we will also consider those conditions such as if the age is less than 18, or if it's less than 18, then it's probably it will not be considered to be a qualified voter. But negative is also less than 18, so we have to change our conditions. If 120 is still greater than 18, so that with this condition alone, you are, or you will now be, you will always have a result of qualified to vote. Okay, so if you take a look at the program, when you run the program, the previous program, if you have 150, age of 150, it will still print qualified to vote. But we do not want that because I don't know if you still live when you are 150 years old. So same as for your negative values, let's say negative 12, since we do not have an age of negative 12, we try to create conditions that if you have entered these values, these should be invalid values. So, but still, if you only have one condition set, so you will have this result here, which is not qualified to vote. So we try to improve that one. So first we can change our conditions. So we say if that the age is less than 0, if it's less than 0, so this means if the age is a negative value of negative value, then we can say that we can create a statement that would say your age is invalid because it's a negative value. So once the age is less than 0, which means that it's a negative value, then the age is invalid also. It's invalid. This would be the result. Okay. Otherwise, you set another condition that if the age exceeds, let us say 130, or 130. So we also say that if that is the case, that the age is greater than 130, sorry, it should be your age. Okay, so it would be your age is, let us say, impossible. So I do not believe that we have people who are of age 130 nowadays. So we just for example purposes, we say your age is impossible. Okay. So for those ages, if the age you set another condition that if the age, if it's not um, less than 0, and also at the same time it's not less than, I mean greater than 130, therefore we set another age. If the age is just greater than 18, I mean greater than or equal to, because 18 is a legal age for voting, this time we can say that the age is qualified to vote. So we print F, you are qualified to vote. Okay, so then the last one, we can actually say if the age is less than 18, then we can say, then we print you are not qualified to vote. Okay, so we have these statements. So first condition is if the age is less than 0, so therefore there are negative values, then you simply display your age is invalid. Once otherwise, if the age is greater than 130, it will display your age is impossible. While if it's just greater than 18, okay, so you will have a result of you are qualified to vote. While if you are less than 18, you will now have qualified, oh, you're not qualified to vote. Okay, so in my statement here, I did not include an else statement like in our syntax. Like I said, the last the if else, the last else statement is actually optional. You can have it or you cannot have it. It won't affect the condition. I mean the syntax of your if else statements. So if we run this program, you will now be required to enter an age. So let's say if my age is negative 34, so what is expected is that it's an invalid age. So it will display your age is invalid. So if you run it again and then you type enter 1,500, then it will display your age is impossible. But if you write an age of 12, then it would be you're not qualified to vote. That would be the result. Not qualified to vote. But if you're of legal age and you're qualified to vote, let us say 34, then it will now display you are qualified to vote. So what's important here is that you know what are those conditions that are needed in your if else statement. So in this case, I just you may have other what you can say solutions for this one, but this is just one of the solutions that you can have with this particular problem, wherein you are going to identify if the age that is entered is qualified to vote or not, and if you have invalid ages like negative values as well as numbers that are a value of age that is impossible. So we have these conditions. So what's important when you create your if else statements are the conditions that are involved. Okay, so going back to your if else, you can actually omit this one. Okay, so this one is your else, the last else statement. You can omit the last conditions because we know logically if it doesn't belong here, the negative values, and it's not greater than values 130, or the values that are in between 130 and 18, therefore it's actually, you will be referring to the age that are from 0 up to 17. So you no longer need the last condition. Okay, so it's all up to you for what will be your conditions that you're going to create. You can actually even use the same, you can also use the fourth condition earlier in place of this one. Of course, you have to change the value. So let us just try this one first to see if we actually able to display you are not qualified to vote even without the conditions, if we even if we erase the previous condition. So we just enter 12, or let's say 13. It will still display you are not qualified to vote, because the first condition is false, the second condition is false, and the third condition is also false. Therefore, it goes to your else statement. So if it's not true here, if it's false, false, this one is false, this one is false, so it will just simply display whatever the else statement, the last else statement is the set of codes that are written. So it will perform here. So you can actually, like I said, change the condition. Let us say we transform this one to less than 18. Of course, this one is now not qualified, and the else statement is qualified. Okay, so we still have negative values here, condition for the values that are greater than 0. This time, if the age is less than 18, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 until 17, this would be the statement to be performed. Otherwise, if it's 18 and above, it will now display here you are qualified to vote. So let us try that one again. So if it's 18, if it's 12, I mean 13, not qualified. If it's 18, you are qualified to vote.